Hey there, if you missed the last video, what this video is picking up after the recap of Season 4 and then just answering the questions that came in from chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're more than welcome to ask questions in the comments and they likely will get answered. Or you can, of course, join into the Discord and have your answers given to you there. If you're watching this on Spotify, well, enjoy. Biggest regret so far. I think Wade's biggest regret was joining the campaign, but other than that, favorite moment and biggest regret so far. Let's go one at a time. And Keegan, if you actually want to go first.
Shit. Favorite moment's hard, not because there's not a lot of really good ones, because there are a lot of really good ones. Biggest regret, I have one thing that comes to mind. I think I told the other two after session once. So after Mikhail almost drowned, when we were going through was it through the sewer area again? And like when we were gonna have to swim to get out of that grate to get in through the river at Hodgwen. You guys know what the hell I'm talking about, or am I?
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to dwell on that a bit, his like hesitation. So I was gonna try to kind of seed in that like he might be fucking afraid of water now. But we were like so late.
Yeah.
That it was like, dude, I really don't want to drag this out like an hour.
There are times where you little babies are like, we gotta go to bed, we got things to do, we got work tomorrow, and it's like, you're ruining my D&D experience.
Two of us are fathers.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't make that mistake. Scott, it's not my burden to bear.
But no, but it was like we were already like well over, and so it's just like I probably shouldn't, and I wish I had somehow figured out a way to introduce that, like to see that even better and like make it clear that it was a struggle without necessarily doing what I didn't want to do and stretching it out too much. There's probably other shit, but that's the one that sticks out. Dude, favorite moment is tough. Come back to me on favorite moment. I'll get one.
Go ahead, Wade, while Jake picks his.
One of my favorite moments of all so far was the Koa Aldo hug because it was just so unexpected. Regret? I genuinely enjoyed working with Keegan and Jake on some of the planning we did. But I do regret all the time we put into the plans that never came to fruition, in the sense that like it added to the frustration whenever things didn't pan out, because we had so much time and resources and so many pages of Word documents and spreadsheets invested, that I think it soured it even more in game whenever those moments didn't come to fruition, because we'd actually done so much planning and had such like a, yes, this will work, we could do this, and then every time it was thwarted. And I think that really put a sour taste in my mouth. So I don't regret doing the planning because it was fun to do. I regret how fucking pissed off it made me whenever we never got to enact any of them.
I feel bad that your plans happened the way they did, but obviously for me, it was out of innocence, because I didn't know what the plans were. I had a path. I was on my path. I didn't know what the plan was.
It was so perfect on your end that I swore Keegan or Jake was feeding you info. Like there were times where I was like, one of these motherfuckers is actually the like this is Among Us, and one of these fuckers are the traitor. Which one is venting?
There's no way.
It was so perfect. Like you thwarted us so fucking perfectly at just the right times that it was like someone is feeding him info, and he's like, and then we had the downtime. We planned out our downtime, and then you were like, "Oh, you're 6 days in. So sorry, but this happens," and it's like, thank God I spent 2 hours planning those out to do one and fail it. Just, it was the season of frustration, failed plans, misery, and pain.
Okay, do you think
I never want to relive a season 4 again.
I don't want to call this dumb luck. Do you think this is douche luck? Or do you think this is like a combination of genuinely really good intuition with innate Bostonianness?
I think Satan is real, and he's so bored with just fucking with the US that he's actually interfering with our D&D game.
Hand up my ass.
Yeah.
He's so petty.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. At least I know I'm innocent. I can't feel guilty. I feel bad, but I don't feel guilty because I know I'm innocent. So,
The bartender dude is enough reason for you to feel guilty, probably for at least the next 10 years.
I mean, I don't know about that long, but
Shittiest fucking hinting that something was going sideways of all time.
Jake, your turn.
I mean, favorite moment was for me was that same as Wade really, but that whole scene where Aldo, went out and stole the stuff and everything that came from us. That's probably my favorite moment so far of the campaign. Biggest regret, I don't really have one as of yet. Biggest frustration, sure, because it's exactly what Wade said. That season 4 was so frustrating because everything we wanted to do, it either got counted, or just more stuff kept happening on top of it. But regret so far in the campaign, no, I don't think I have one.
Keek, did you have follow up or skip that last bit there?
I think I'm gonna have to get a top 3. Yeah, keep going.
Okay, no, that's fine. All right, so next up.
No. It's your turn. You have to have yours.
Oh yeah, your turn, buddy.
Oh, okay.
If your favorite moment's the bartender, I'm leaving the call.
I can't choose one regret. I have so many regrets along the way. It may not be super obvious, but I post game like Monday night quarterback or Monday morning whatever I'm saying. I just like analyze it afterwards. So like, you guys have heard me talk about my interviewing process how many times. I get off those interviews and I analyze that interview in my head for literally days after.
I have a new regret.
The reason I bring that up is because that's something I don't even care about. That's just me making a living for my family, right? Like for me to eat food. Like D&D is my passion, and when I do something that plays out poorly or upsets people or anything like that, and it's not like you guys are just like, I'm not showing up and throwing dice at some random local card stop with some schmucks. You're my friends, and I want to have a good time with my friends. And I've always been this way, but I hard analyze, so I don't have one regret. There's many along the way. Favorite moment? Just trying to see if there is a individual favorite moment, because like for me, the favorite moments, if I was being vague for a second, is when you guys click hard, like come together and just like live in those moments. Like the 3 of you together, not just 1 or 2, like the 3 of you together. You just like really in it, like you can see the emotion as it's going through. But that only really happens when all 3 of you are in the scene together. I don't care about just Koa dealing with this or just Aldo. Like my favorite moments when the 3 of you are together and just really kind of jiving. Just trying to think of like a good one, like when you were taking the thing out of the back of Aldo's neck, and the 3 of you were there for that one. When you had, God, I don't know, some of the really funniest interactions with what's his name there, Elder. Aldo just being a douche and like stepping through him and making him disappear. Like, Aldo, like those kinds of like those moments. The 3 of you getting angry, or the 2 of you getting angry at Koa for realizing he revealed everything once a fucking again to the people around them. Oh god, I don't think all 3 of you were technically there, but I'm going to mention this one. The 2 of you convincing that poor kid that you legitimately just bathed that fast, and they were so confused, and like Koa outside like talking, like things like that, like where you guys are just kind of like, I don't know, the pieces you move together, I think are really what I enjoy the most. And I'm excited to see it, because when we get to the kingdom building phase, that's where it is intentionally done together in the meta and then in game too, so yeah, sorry, kind of whimsical, but I don't live in it the way you guys do. I have to see it from the sky view. I have to be the Russian drone. Wait. Mikhail, shoot it down.
Dude, I feel like you're beating it off to LinkedIn half the time we're playing, to be honest with you.
I'm playing with a Batman
Can I
knife.
say that?
Beating it up.
Do you have LinkedIn up right now?
Yeah, do
Scott.
you? Are you like, I'll interview?
Well,
We open up.
I think I narrowed to two. One was in the when we were doing the raid on the slave ring place, spending the hero point and managing to sleep those two guys that were about to attack Koa, because I was fucking sure he was dead. And I was worried that if you killed Koa, Wade was gonna leave. So I was like, I gotta pull into that clutch.
That would have been not that many sessions after Graph. That would have been a rough stretch.
Yeah. So like that happening, and especially after having like the sleep having failed once earlier, it kind of failed at a critical moment, because I think that's how the alarm ended up going off. Was like one dude survived the sleep and Koa didn't get to him to bonk him, and he ended up being like or whatever. So I was like, fuck, Scott's gonna start doing his shit where he makes all his saves, but it knocked both those guys out. So that was one of them, because it was just this huge sigh of relief. It was like, I mean, I'm definitely out of everything now, but at least that gamble paid off. Just as a combat thing. And I think the other one, I won't say the hug, even though that probably would be top 3, because it was really dope.
I'm not gonna say the thing I just said. Yep.
Was it's dumb it's weird to say it's one of my favorite moments, because I don't even remember all the details, but it was when we had gotten back to Leshev. I think it was the second time. I think it was when we came back and after we had all our furniture, and it was that brief moment where we were all it was late, and we were all sitting in the that living room area. All of our characters were. I think Aldo went back, went to sleep or something earlier, pretended to, and I think that may have been the night that he ended up leaving and being Birdman, and we didn't know he was gone. But there was a brief moment where all of our characters were in there, and I think Elliot was in there, and I cannot remember what the conversation was. I just remember thinking oh, this is kind of rare. We're all all of our characters in the same place talking about something, but it wasn't the most critical thing ever. We just kind of were decompressing in character, and it was really cool. And I remember that moment. Even though I don't remember all the details.
That's like a Star Trek holodeck poker game kind of moment.
Yeah.
So those,
I remember thinking in season 4, there was a moment where I was like, everything in Hodgwyn fucking sucks. Everything in Adir sucks. I hate everything, but at least my character has a stable relationship.
That's a different season, Wade. Stop.
That was a season 4 observation.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, Scott, to help with
question.
your neuroses. To help with your neuroses, okay? As stressful as season 4 was, every Wednesday I'm still really fucking ready to play.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not gonna lie, there were probably 2 or 3 in season 4 where I was like, this is the first time I've not been hyped to fucking play.
Well, yeah, you had 2 really hard sessions. So
I was
not even 5. You had a couple and 4 that were just
there were a couple of times where I was like, dude, I don't know. It's not the spark it was. There was a time where I swear to God, at the end of the season, I was telling Molly, I was like, if we could play 2 or 3 times a week, that'd be so fucking cool. And then I swear to God, it was the next week, I was like, I changed my mind, Molly. 1's enough.
But the thing is, jokes aside, when things are bad, but the time between the bad and the next session is short, it's not as bad. But if you have if you have a rough session, and then you miss a week, a planned miss or an accidental miss, or God forbid you miss 2 weeks, then it's sitting with you for 21 days. So literally, it's 20 days and
imagine having
hours.
Some tough sessions and then not playing the following week and instead doing a recap. That'd be crazy.
It'd suck, wouldn't it?
Sure would. I can't imagine going through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But moving on. So here we go. Let's
Oh
get
shit,
through.
there's more questions. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of questions. Let's get through them. This
Let's
should
go.
be a relatively quick one. 13th Spiral. Aldo, what was your reaction about Birdman coming to life because of how high your role was for the rumor? Any plans to bring Birdman to Hod Gwen to add more chaos with cryptid hunters?
Answering that part, yeah, I was planning to bring Birdman to all of Adir. But after they started burning books, I was like, oh, maybe not. We're not going to do that. I probably will use Birdman to try and lure those people that, stole or cover up stuff back. So yeah, Birdman will return. How did Aldo feel about seeing him? Aldo just assumed it was someone jumping on the bandwagon. That's why he just like more or less nodded at him. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, cool. Someone's doing the same thing I'm doing.
But he went to the same store I went to. What the hell?
Yeah.
Why is it in my head that it was Nathan wearing a bird costume?
That's getting his jollies.
Nathan Fox was like, Birdman. People are gonna want more wine.
Just rich guy whimsy. He's like, I could be a bird.
Oh,
This is
God.
stressful. Perhaps people want to drink a nice 1987 Chianti.
All right, moving on. Now I'll ask the Bolita 300. Will you guys make? Wait, wasn't Bolita the one that did the? Bolita, am I crazy? Are you the one that did the original first ever trump card? Was that you in the campaign like 7 years ago? Was that you? Bolita 300. Will you guys make the Doppelganger Sly Lady your spy master? You guys have a spy master in this version of the game? I don't think there is a
I don't
spy
know.
master. I think it's
I
technically
don't
like
think there is.
Viceroy or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think there is a spy master.
Yeah.
So-
I don't know how that works yet. Do we all take roles again? Is that a thing, or are we just like
You
the
can
ruler?
all take
or-
roles, and there's a benefit to that, or, meaning you get to fill up more spaces, or you can just share the one role, which is kind of like what we're currently it's what we've talked about. We're kind of like veering towards, but it wasn't fully defined. Doing that, Jake, by sharing one role, you guys can agree that you're all the leader instead of like, I'm in charge of this, I'm in charge of this. And it also makes it so you only have to invest, what is it, like 2 days or 3 days each.
Yeah,
So it
each
allows you
day.
to do more adventuring. And not have to
Yeah.
worry about it, right? Emissary. That's
So
so I guess
one of
now.
the things I have in my notes was from Koa's time at the crack. Things that we kind of had to gloss over for time's sake was spending some time chatting with Reem and trying to make sure they were on a good page. Not sure where he stands with well, it's a season 5 thing. I won't say on to that. Actually, 2 of these are season 5 things. That's one of the 3 things I had on my list of things that Koa wanted to make sure he spent time doing whenever he was at the crack.
So I think the answer is we don't know, but also there's no spy master, so no.
So well, Spy
Yeah.
Master, they meant emissary. They were just talking OG. Well, I
But
don't know
we,
if this
we
first-
haven't. We haven't even really got to like
Yeah.
let her acclimate and then
Yeah.
talk to her again, and
So it's
So
kind
it's
of one of
hard to-
those meh later on. We'll figure it out. Okay.
yeah, it's hard to say. We'll definitely talk to her more.
Here's a fun one from Incompetent Ranger. They've been around for a long, long time. Incompetent Ranger has. I don't know how often you guys hear that name, so make sure I call that out. Question for everyone, but we can try to grab everybody's kind of like relatively quick answer here. Question for everyone: is there a character that hasn't gotten much screen time you want to spend more time with or learn more about? So this is people that you've seen through to the end of season 4, which is most everybody, that you want to be able to spend more time with or learn more about or whatever.
Yeah, in Aurorum 1.0, I know a lot of people had this villain that they really fucking hated, and I've not really gotten to see too much screen time of that particular villain, so it'd be cool to.
You know what? You're talking about the SQ, right? Like the Slumbering Queen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Malik.
honestly.
Actually, of all people, Malik,
Wait, what?
the guy that helped us, the magical dude, and like.
Oh, so not SQ. Because I was
Well,
going to say.
that's who I was hinting at, but I was playing Koi.
Oh, you're just being.
But I mean,
funny.
honestly, yes, because there is so much. Like, I personally do not know much about Slumbering Queen.
Yeah, because
But like everyone else seems to have such strong opinions, and they're like, "Oh my god, I would never." It's the biggest thing of Aurorum as far as I know.
yeah, but this is a joke
And
answer.
I know
somehow.
nothing about that particular character and why everyone feels the way they do, other than little tidbits shared here and there. But of characters that we've encountered, I think we're gonna get a little bit more of Kethrel now. But Malik is one that we, worked with. He had kind of a whatever relationship with, but he's one of the very few people with any kind of magical tendency we've encountered.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having some more time with him or talking to him would be cool.
He's actually innately kind of powerful too. So, yeah, kind of. He had a magic missile. So slow down.
Apparently, he has the power to fuck criminals.
Is that better or worse than a snowball?
It does less damage, but it never misses.
It's actually called Icicle.
Moving on. Want to ride my icicle?
Dude, not much screen time I want to see more of. What about Mikhail? I like Mikhail. Do you see more of him?
Who?
Yeah,
Mikhail.
Aldo.
Is he one of those NPCs that's in the Koa show?
Yeah. He's one of he's and friends of.
Oh my god. You two are the and friends of the Koa show.
Okay, Mark, calm down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Koa show. I'm Koa.
Okay, I didn't have Wade doing a Mark impression on my bingo card, but I. No,
Was it good for you? Did you like it?
I mean, you can't see my face right now. I would say.
You want some OG, Mark? Hello, everybody.
3. Okay, I got 3. I got
3.
I know one of them was on nobody else's list. Jaden, because she was losing her shit, but I understand she was traumatized for good reason. And is no longer traumatized. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what is. I want to see more of what's going on with that change.
Mm-hmm.
Reem, because the trope of person from past stasis brought to present is just always fun.
And in a goo body.
Yeah, what else?
Tale as old as time.
Goo, no wait, I mean slime.
And then
She's as old as Scott.
Oh God. Never mind.
Don't forget that she's quite hot.
No, because you're gonna have chat roll, and because I'm like, I want to talk to this person. They're gonna roll like a 5 again.
All right, moving on. And your third?
Dude, you could actually watch yourself. Never mind. Let's not go there.
Oh Jesus!
She's translucent. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
If you're bisexual, you know what I mean. Like you can.
I don't remember the third one. I said 5th. I don't remember the third one.
Sorry.
Cool.
I distract you with the Gussie.
It was some dude. I don't know who it is now.
I want to keep following Edric, especially as things develop. I want to see him get some more time, I guess. The other one would be Roxanne. I am interested to see where that character goes.
Yeah. I like Roxanne.
Yeah, that's who it was. Thank you.
We like him too, but God knows he'll hate us and be a villain to us now after everything he's gone through.
Am I allowed to answer this? Because I feel like if I answer it, it's almost asking pandering for no.
Not to answer it.
Huh?
No, answer it. We're different. We're better than most PCs. We'll do okay.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It's got to be Gwen or Koa.
Jake froze at that one. It was so stupid. Jake froze. His face is like a blur for so long. He's like, no.
The whole internet disagreed. Answer it. Do it. Don't be a coward.
I don't think it's
Great
cowardly.
answer.
I actually, funny enough, I'm sorry to say this. I really like the way that Kethrel was developed, and I really like Kethrel as a character, and so I would like to see more of him.
Someone who speaks the same pace that Scott thinks. It makes sense.
Moving on. Cool. Next up. Let's see. Keegan. How does it feel to have the Flute Dude saga resolved? Are you going to miss the rivalry with Gerald from 13 Spiral?
No, I think it's fine. I don't think every little rivalry or side thing needs to be this long drawn out thing that has to have this big crazy culmination. Like it had its thing. He did have that moment of showing that he was more than just like kind of an asshole, and even like recognizing his faults that I had bitched about.
Yeah.
Like I think that was completed. I think it kind of completed in a pretty cool way too. Like not only did he do something, kind of punk rock and awesome, but he did get the shit kicked out of him, which was a thing I wanted to happen. And we saved him. And now hopefully he's happy,
He was an ugly duckling, but he played a mean swan song.
But no, I like how that turned out. I don't think it needed to go any further than that. I think it's cool.
From Snaga, mainly for Jaaek, but others can chime in, of course. What were your thoughts about meeting and interacting with Vigil and the Vigilites from a different perspective?
I only have one perspective, so
That's why I said mainly Jaaek, but others are welcome to chime in as well.
It was good to see them. I mean, Aldo, not being the religious type, the way they came across to him was very kind of cult-like in their beliefs. So, didn't have the highest opinion of them, but it slightly changed while he was in there. But then once again, given that ultimatum, like, you will more or less sign this magical contract, or you are no longer a friend of us and can't talk to your friends about anything, and blah 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 blah. That just rubbed him the wrong way. So he doesn't have a high opinion of Vigil now. And I guess, I mean, it was a much more peaceful thing this time, right? But yeah.
I'll chime in from my perspective, and I'm the one that did it. Vigil is supposed to be ultra lawful, right? Like that's their thing. So they have codes, they have laws, they have things that they have to stick to. But like as soon as the two of them sign their contract, almost immediately afterwards, like within a minute or two afterwards, they realize that they're clearly breaking one of their core rules. They have somebody pretending to be their ruler without actually being the ruler, because the sword is supposed to decide the next ruler and it hasn't done so. And so like they're supposed to be this like ultra lawful group, but like there's already like some sort of seemingly cracks or what have you that are inside there. And so I kind of put that in because, and it would have been nice for like Aldo to see that, because Aldo would have been like, ha ha, see, I knew they were fucking full of it. But instead it wasn't Aldo, it was Mikhail and Koa, who don't view the world in such a cynical way. Not to say that they don't have cynicism, but either way, so that was kind of a fun thing for me, and it's meant to be like a thread that can be pulled if you guys cared to, but you have so much shit on your plate, you're probably not going to, if ever, not for a long time. What if you guys care to chime in, or if that's good enough?
No, I did catch that is a funny element to it, of being like, they did seem super, super strict and whatnot, but then we immediately find out, okay, you like broken your own rules because the pressure, extenuating circumstances. It's just one of those things that actually just makes it like, oh, this makes more sense than just, nope, everyone upholds the law and does what they're supposed to all the time. No, they don't. Systems don't function systems really don't function well with humans involved if everything is like that strictly followed. Like you'll break apart elsewhere. So so it actually made it make more sense that there was like, okay, they clearly can bend things if they need to. Got it.
I am curious why out in the middle of the woods the martyr was buried here, and like her grave was the only one that had like the stone, right? That we
yes.
noticed. So like I know whenever that was initially revealed, it was like, I understand why they would view her as important enough to use molestone for, but one, how the fuck they get it there, and two, why is she buried out here in the middle of like the woods?
Well, we didn't get a straight answer on whether the town came up around her grave or.
That's true. I thought it was kind of implied that maybe it did, but that's true. I guess we don't.
I think because the stone is there.
Well, yeah. I can actually partially answer that question for you. I don't know if this was revealed in season 5 or 4, but that's fine. I can say this. That the leader girl, her her grandfather or father or what have you, more or less somebody who's within one or two more generations of her, paramount generations of herself, was one of the founders here. So
Yes.
even if you stretch that to the longest that you can imagine, 200-ish years, whereas she would have died 700 years ago. So either they had a body or exhumed a body and brought it here, or it was already here before they arrived. And it was said, I think in season 5, granted, but it was said that they were called to this place, but they may have talked about that in the end of season 4 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 pieces of evidence, and those are 2. The other one being, because that stone is there, it makes me also more think that this was here. Like, I don't think they brought that mole stone here. I don't think that's how that worked. I think that was there.
Yeah, I would agree. I think otherwise, my opinions of Vigil were kind of like definitely a little bit culty, to the point where, like, I think they mean well, and I think they think they're doing things and living life in a good way, but everything in their culture seems to be made of glass, and if one thing goes wrong, the whole thing could very easily shatter. It's kind of how their society feels. So, like, this whole leader gap void thing that they did feels like it could have some more ripples and impact than they might even foresee by having done it. If they are so lawful and, you know, they do things a certain way, by finding a way to go around, by making an exception, they've made the exception the way they do things.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, depending on how hard line they have been in the past, it's like,
now that they've made that exception, it's like it's hard to go back to hardline once you've already broken it.
Cool.
So I worry about the stability there, but also I have a lot of curiosity about the place.
Yeah. And they're totally a cult. There's like 100 of them. So
it's not 100, it's over 1,000, but yeah.
A cult is literally just based on size.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, so there's 6 questions written here. Let's see if we can get through all of them real quick.
Okay.
One of them is it's a repeated one that's already been, this one's already been asked and some of you have already answered. So in case you haven't answered this yet, or you want to reiterate or change your answer, this is a one asked forever ago. So of all the lore that came out about the campaign so far with the Mole Empire, what piece of lore did you guys get drawn to or wish to know more about in the future? So again, this is understanding at the end of season 4.
I feel like my answer still holds.
Yeah, yours makes sense to still hold. Yep.
Oh yeah, I might not answered that before. I don't remember. I know the whole, like, the martyr being cursed as well as Nunkaro hooked me for sure.
I think you mentioned the planes earlier. You were interested in the plane or plane stuff.
Yeah, that was that was more tied into my favorite thing that I've learned about the moles specifically, but not just like the lore in general.
That's fair.
But yeah, I think just the whole like martyr Nunkaro mystery is really compelling. Even though I watched 1.0, it's like I don't remember all that stuff. So I'm just like, what's going on with here? Yeah. So I'm super, super interested in that.
Jake?
I think that requires too much thought of me right now. So I wouldn't be able to give a timely answer.
Oh, that's fine. All right, let's move on. Belita300 asks, do you guys think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created here on earth? Oh, that's too meta.
Quoting Spy Kids 3. Belita, get out of here.
Is it legitimately quoting a movie? All right, moving on.
Yes.
Man, movies just aren't what they used to be.
This is Dragrex asked me a question. What was one of your inspirations for the Mole Empire? Well, giving away too much, if that's all right. So I actually only have one direct inspiration for it. In playing Eberron, which came out, God, I think I was 16 or something when Eberron came out. I love it's my favorite pre-written world. And it made me fall in love with hobgoblins. Like, I love hobgoblins because my hobgoblins are different. My, culture around them, everything's very different from that. But the idea of this lost hobgoblin empire is inspired by Eberron, absolutely, even though theirs are classic hobgoblins and these ones are a whole different culture, what have you. As for why I did the perspective of it being a lost empire with like set keeps and whatnot all around, That's because I, as a DM, never have dungeons and never do dungeon crawls unless my PCs beg me for them for like months and months and months on end. And finally, I throw my arms in the air and go, fine, I'll do one. So I figure if I come up with a campaign setting where I have to have dungeons preset for people to crawl through, then they can choose to dungeon crawl if they want to, or better yet, we can make that a core part of a campaign that they have to crawl through them. That forces me to give something that PCs usually beg me for. So that was kind of like the basis was, I love the idea of a lost Hobgoblin Empire. Let me make it my own. Let me force myself to have dungeons for people to crawl through. And then it just kind of grew from there.
Weird that you love hobgoblins, but you cosplay as a hobbit. Because he's short.
I'm 5'11". So for Koa, how has your relationship with the gods changed now that a fucking angel has talked to you? And then to take off of that, has this impacted either of the other two characters as well? So we'll go to Koa first and the other two for their perspective, since what Koa told them.
Well, it's not for me, it's
assuming they
for
believe.
Koa. So, well, I'd say
shut
that I did not have Koa as being a very religious character. Like Scott asked us to make like a pantheon of ideology or whatever. So we had like 5 to 7 or so different gods and goddesses we were supposed to originally put into our pantheon. I was like, okay, I'll put them there, and I didn't really think much of it. I went through and I like wrote some notes down, some shorthand of like, okay, this is what each god kind of stands for. This is kind of how it can tie into my character, but I don't really expect it to play a very big role. So I'm still kind of learning that for him, but obviously with finding a rock, which is the dumbest fucking shit of all time, that led him to God, and then now meeting with the Iophonite. For Koa, it's like finding purpose. His whole thing before session 0 was kind of like he's been roaming around restless, sleeping around, getting into bar fights, but he doesn't really have a purpose in life. And now all of a sudden, he's chosen. He's the hero of Leshev, one of the valiant few, one of the heroes of Hodgwyn. An Iophonite is speaking to him on behalf of the martyr. I think all of this is feeding into his ego to some extent, but he's trying to utilize that for good. But it's all purpose. It's now the gods themselves are looking to Koa to help fulfill a purpose. And sure, that will go to his head to some extent, but it's also, I think for him, he's more channeling it into being annoying to Mikhail and Aldo. Like, listen, the martyr is literally watching our fucking backs. We're not going to steal candy from a child because you're hungry, Aldo. You know, that kind of thing. So he's going to be a pain in the ass. But I think he's going to try to drive it into doing as much good as he can, because he knows the stakes are high enough where gods that he was pretty sure were real and he believed in, but now we're actually just talking to him. It's going to be a driving force. I don't know how I don't know how I skirt that. That's kind of it's got to be for how things have played out.
Okay. Mikhail, this is more to you than to Aldo, as we all can kind of understand why. You want to go ahead?
Fair. Yeah. For Mikhail, because he does believe in the gods. You know, he does worship. It's not like a core. It is not a like core at the forefront part of his character, but it's in his background. It's like an everyday piece of him. He believes Koa is the thing, given all the stuff that's happened to them already. He believes him. But in general, I think all it might be doing is feeding a bit of the imposter syndrome that I've been slowly letting trickle with him, with the others getting things like visions and riding Alcimia and all the other things. It's like it's another thing that it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. This would happen to Koa. That's probably the only real other than basic story impacts. Like, obviously there's information that comes with it, and it's it is awe-inspiring. But as far as like a character, I think that's probably what the impact is going to be for him, unfortunately.
Just tell Mikhail to spend his hero points better. Some of us spend our hero points talking to God. Some of us spend our hero points on Jerobold.
Yep.
Moving on. Next, sorry, Aldo. Jake? Any thing that you think may have modified Aldo's opinion of the gods, or no?
No, not at this stage. Aldo's as set in his ways as before.
Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. For the whole party, so individually, and then I would actually like to hear this individually, so each individual person, and then as a group, if that's like a different or one of the ones that y'all said together. Do you have a favorite NPC? So this isn't something you want to see more of. Just do you personally have a favorite NPC? We'll go backwards for this one. Jake, do you have a favorite NPC so far in this?
Favorite NPC? I really like I said before, I really like Edric. So I mean, probably Edric for me. I'd like, I'd like to see more of Edric and what becomes of him, especially if we move into like a Kingmaker type thing and all that stuff. He's just been good to us, loyal, and I just like the dude.
Edric's is emulative of like just your average blue collar, guy just trying to get by. But then like as soon as he gets an opportunity, he's like, I'm not going to fuck this up. Yeah. Like this is my chance. Like I've had to scrape for so long. I finally have a chance, and I want to make sure I do the right things here. Like holy shit, I don't have to scrape anymore. Like, so he gives it his all. He brings it every day, or at least every day that he can. I like Edric. I like Edric because he has. It's not that he has questionable morals. It's that the question of morals never really was a question that he could afford to ask. And so he kind of is developing as a character before your eyes. He's a cool choice. I like that one. Another cool thing about Edric is he was 100% Scott made. He's as opposed to made by elsewhere. Not that matters, but just throwing that out there. Whoever next. Looks like Wade's waiting for you, Keegan.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking. Damn, no, I'm still thinking.
Okay, I mean, I can try to answer, but I've also got a few in my mind. Well, I guess I can say for Koa, because he's my character, right? I made Koa. I've played as Koa going through a bunch of stuff. Guinevere will always be one of the most important ones because she's someone who means something to my character, and you always want your character to have happiness and be, successful and everything else. And she represents that like eye of the hurricane in his life, especially through season 4. But one that might not be the most popular answer, but is another one that's for me good for Koa is Leon. I don't know that I necessarily like or always love our interactions because he's very like set in his ways, but I see Koa as young and impressionable, and Leon represents kind of some order to the chaos that is a teenage barbarian in my mind. And him talking about planning things ahead and treating things like chess or, in this world, conquest or whatever, I think is really good and kind of gives me some fun thoughts for whenever we eventually do Kingmaker stuff, how that might, I don't know how that'll impact the roles, but in my mind, it will impact how Koa approaches things. It's not just go swing sword. It's actually thinking things through and planning. And so selfishly for me and my character, those are the two that come to mind because they're both very, very impactful on how I feel like Koa is developing.
Yeah, good answers. Fun fact, both of those characters were made by Abusive Snaga, so that answer more or less was like Joey and I, A-framing you since he
what's funny is the other character I was going to name was Joey. who we've not gotten to see in forever.
Nope.
But Joey was a real one. He of the people you've let us interact with, Scott, Joey is one of the most fucking pure dudes that we knew we could trust.
By the way,
He put a fire out with
was
his
a legit
hand.
NPC. What's up, Keegan?
He put a fire out with his hands.
Yeah.
How down
was
for
a
the
real
cause
one.
that dude was, man.
Keegan, who is your favorite NPC?
It might be Casper, dude.
Casper's another real one who
Ooh.
started off awful.
Casper.
Casper?
Like,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
no, just like the fact that he has the exact formula to have become the Scott trope of NPC who was cool and turned on you, because like he flipped of his own volition. Like we didn't like coerce him. We were like, all right, cool, you did your shit, get the fuck out of here. And he was like, no, I want to help. Like he realized how bad of shit he was doing, decided on his own to like do better and try to make up for that. And then we left and he got life kicked his fucking back in, and we showed back up and he was still like, I still want to help, guys.
Yeah.
Like that's a real motherfucker right there.
Dude, the sock saga was wild. That was some wild shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't Casper though.
It was, thank
God.
God. Yeah, I don't know
Thank God.
I don't know if he'd be so.
He would not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fun thing about Casper, also homegrown, right? Like Casper's a legit NPC. But more than that, Casper's 2.0 only. That's a fresh, like to me, that was effectively a throwaway PC. I think the name for that NPC, sorry, came from chat. I think somebody in chat even named him. Probably thinking you guys were gonna ghost him or something, right? But then like it just roleplay takes over and it just evolves, right? So that's a solid one, because more or less that character was created around you as opposed to like you know, so that's a fun
I think
one.
that's fun. I don't know how many characters in 2.0 weren't there at all in 1.0.
Yeah.
But I personally think like having some sprinkles from 1.0 is cool, but like more original type stuff like that I think is fun.
Yeah. And there's gonna be even more as time goes on. You know, the 1.0 will start dying down and 2.0 taking over.
Yeah,
Not quite
I feel
just
like a lot of the
soon.
1.0 characters people are going to have their preconceived feelings about,
course.
or they're going to be like happy or disappointed with where things go. But something new is like, oh, I don't know where. Like, if nobody, including the 1.0 people, don't know where who a character is or what they mean or whatever, I think that's fun and interesting in a world that everyone's already kind of like, I wonder if they'll find the spider behind door 3. It's like,
yeah.
It's fun.
Well, you know what
a
it is, Wayne,
curveball thrown.
you've played video games that some people have played before, but you haven't played yet, and other viewers have not. You know, you know that. You know, you've experienced that. So as a party, if you guys, the three of you together as a party, the Valiant Few, who is the Valiant Few's favorite NPC? It could be one of the ones you already said, or it could be an entirely different person from the perspective of the party.
I feel like Edric's in top 3 regardless.
Yeah, man, I gotta. Edric's the first one to come to
top
mind
2.
too. Like
Yeah.
he's been real from the beginning. He took very little pay, sucked at fucking hiring people to help, but he got Joey. And honestly, I'll forgive the 3 bums for Joey.
Right?
But no, Edric's been 100% like just, hey, listen, I like getting paid, but also I'm not a douchebag.
Yeah. He's like this is your boy from like way back, where it's like you love him, most people love him. You know there's places you can't bring him. Right? But like but like if you did and people were giving him shit, it's like, well, great, now I got.
You're going to the strip club, you call Edric. You're going to a nice dinner, you don't call Edric.
Yeah, you just tell him how it went. That's it.
Oh man, that sounds boring.
He's on the wedding list, but like if your wife says, then you're like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait, am I on that list? Well, he's like,
Or he's like you leave the nice dinner and you're like, dude, I need a real drink. This place, I don't know what the fuck they were serving.
Molly's more likely to have Scott on the wedding list than I am at this point. No, Edric's got to be up there. Edric's pretty fucking. He might be, from the 3 of us voting, he might hit number 1.
He could easily, because like it's hard not to pick him. Like he's been for so long. He's been loyal as fuck.
Roxon would be up there, I think.
Yeah,
Because he,
Ro-
I mean,
Roxon
he
was my top three.
gave a lot in order to help us like do the right thing.
Yeah, Roxanne was top three.
Yeah, Roxon would be up there.
I can't put him over Edric for similar reasons to why Edric is so high and why I picked Casper. This is why he's in there in the first place, but like Edric's just shown so much more.
Yeah, that's it for me. I think I don't know.
Okay, so
All right, we're not gonna get an argument from Jake because he picked Edric anyway.
He's like,
Yeah.
Okay.
he's
Cool.
like, see, boys, I've had the best answer from the beginning.
Yeah,
he's like, thanks for catching up, boys. Cool. Edric, it is.
I got to get in here, Scott, because I don't know if you wrote this one down, and I bet you didn't for this particular reason. Joey asked, I think it was Joey that asked before, why haven't we seen like the impact of those ridiculously good rumors
Oh yeah, no, I answered
that Aldo's been spreading?
Yeah,
He
answered
answered
that
in chat. It was a non-answer. It was
Yeah. I said,
It
I
takes
said,
time for things to coalesce.
yeah. I was like, so like, it is too short a period because like what you're doing and think about like even though IRL it's been a long fucking time in game, it's just a short period of time for what it is that you're doing. But believe me, it's having an intense impact. There's a lot of rumors that you have.
So we will see the
Yes.
fruition of some of these.
Oh, absolutely. Again, you're setting up the groundwork for what's going to inevitably be the big blowout at the end. You know what I mean? It's just
I want to believe you, and then
No,
like three
no.
sessions later, you'll be like, "What was that rumor you spread again?" It's like, "Oh no."
think about this. You were laying powder kegs and planting TNT, but you haven't sparked the match yet to actually get that to go. Like that's what you're doing. You're literally setting it up for things to go off. And you know, obviously Beltran's doing his own shit to make things worse. I just realized one of the other questions I copied because I was just copy and pasting over was kind of a one that's already been handled, asking me a question about my favorite X, Y's, or Z's, but we already went over those, so we'll skip it. All right, so we have I said only 6. We've had 5. There's 2 questions here. I'm gonna let you choose which one you want to answer. We're not
Just
gonna
hit them
answer the
both
other
quick.
one.
Hit them both quick.
So 13th Spiral says for the party, if you had to play as another one of your people's characters, which would it be, like Aldo, Koa, Mikhail, so on and so forth, who would you choose and why? There's one question. Or the question you can answer is, what do you guys wish to accomplish like this upcoming season? Season 5. What is it you're hoping to successfully do?
We can do both.
And not like everything, but like legitimately, like realistically resolve. So do you want to do what you're hoping to accomplish over those 13 sessions? Or do you want to do who would you play as and why?
We'll just answer both. That's a
We
quick
can
answer for both.
do both of those. I think. Those
Okay,
are
I'm just
easy.
trying to be mindful of time. It's after
The
2.
second one's easy, right? Guys,
Yep.
that second one's easy, right? We want to break the
Yeah.
curse.
Exactly. Yep.
This next season, we want to break. We want to like break 3 of them. Break the curse of the Shattered Throne because I think we can do it.
Yeah.
It's funny. So you're leaning on curses over Beltran. You're saying curses are taking precedence.
We've
over
tried Beltran for the whole of season 4, okay, buddy?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, unless something else develops with Beltran, it's like, look, we may as well break the other curses first. Like
Beltran's
Beltran's
that
also
X
kind.
that you talk about poorly,
He's
and then
kind
like in
and
30
truthful.
years, Beltran sounds like the actual fucking devil because like all you have are bad memories.
yeah,
It was never a good relationship, but now it's even worse. Yeah.
Mm.
I think the
Like-
curses,
yeah.
Gwen's just Koa and Gwen being in an okay spot, assuming, you know, things are hunky dory there would be nice. I want my boy to feel some peace. Season 4 was not good for Koa. I would like Koa to feel something good. Also, if I could,
I'm not going to mess with you. Season 4 was a heavy one. There really were a lot of really bad moments. It was lots of frustrations from the PCs, especially since they kept putting together all these crazy plans that I was unaware of. And then just because of how my arc was going, it thwarted every one of their plans. Lots of intensity. It was a lot of fun, genuinely a lot of fun. And set the framework, kind of the mountain that they sit upon right now, that they then have to ride down from. The heroes are primed for season 5. Let's see how season 5 goes. As Wade just said, just want to feel something good. Hey all, go ahead and like and subscribe. Make sure you join Discord if you're not there. And if you're on Spotify, well, not everybody can make the right choice.